Hey, welcome everybody. So follow-up video today for yesterday's comment by the dip. Well, the dip was yesterday. Today's the rip, right? So the question we had today was in the live trading room. Every morning we do a morning briefing. A couple things, being the fact that the market, first off, we had a great sell signal that was provided to us in kind by the Algo 17. And as you can see, this is a situation here where it generates a nice trade. We were doing this, and I'll go over the reason why this is so special. Because while we were in this trade today, right, and it took a small profit, and it was in here, we maintained and did a maintenance performance routine on the strategy on the Algo 17. By the way, we're going to do a webinar on Thursday, I believe. And may I take this quick moment to give my heartfelt prayers to all of those fallen or families that lost a significant loved one, or all the children that you lost your parents who were just going to work to provide you a better living on 9/11 when the Twin Towers fell. It was quite an emotional day, and I know we've taken a moment of silence in the marketplace for that. And but still, it seems like it was only days ago that this event took place. And least we never forget, and nor shall we forget, the heroes, the men that went into fighting that fire and lost their lives. So our heartfelt gratitude to those men and women in service in that career of not just law enforcement but firefighting. So a lot of courageous people there that we lost. In addition, as far as trading is concerned, people don't know this, but the New York Merc, the COMEX, the Market Technicians Association, which is now called the CMT because everyone's a chartered market technician. You take an exam, you got a CMT. It says you studied how to do technical analysis. Anyway, John Brooks, Paul Desmond, Ralph Acampora. We've lost John Brooks. We lost Paul Desmond of Lowry's just recently. Founded or helped found the Market Technicians Association. They had an extensive library. It was insane. It was incredible. I mean, works from Charles Dow, et cetera, et cetera. So really, wizards and warriors of Wall Street's technical analysis. They lost the library. There's been a lot of books that were donated since then. But there was a lot lost in our industry, and we have a lot to thank. Because that was my industry, and I mean, this is what I do for a living, right? So with that said, what does today mean to me? Well, it means a lot of things. It means more specialty things. That means that we picked up about $2,000 on this one little trade. We got out on a max bar. We actually overrode and put a stop in the room at 12 and got out at 12. We stopped ourselves and overrode the system because the system has a compression stop function. In this case, it got out on a max bar exit about 20 cents worse than our manual override. And it just went into another little short trade. So it again, it's making it already scalped out of one. It went short two, got out of one, and it's still in one, making more money. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Gold had a nice trade long, and it's now back on its second position. You can see gold right here, giving back 30 bucks of some profit. We had a nice little trade up there. That was the first long here, exits there, gold. S&Ps, long here, exit on what function? A compression stop. I'll share that with you in a minute. And there's the compression stop. So when we look at the Algo Optimizer, people have been asking me a lot of questions on this, especially since we did the TradeStation showcase. Why is this unique? It's beyond unique. It's the most powerful thing as far as a trading strategy program that you create that has been in retail traders' hands ever. We don't out there marketing it to the mass general population, but as you can see, this is system Algo 17 version 2, and what we'll format is what time of day. This only trades during the open outcry session for us in the live trading room. So this is the trading room model that we use, and we went through this these settings. By the way, it only does 2 lots. It has position calc method, max risk, max profit type situations built in, trailing stop functions, and then it has a different trailing stop function that it overrides the dynamic exit and a compression exit. So if the market goes too long, too far, too fast, for example, it will tighten the stops up by a virtuous nature of compressing ATR and taking the lesser of the two value of a last conditional change, LCC indicator, as well as the compression. So for example, if you humor me down here for a second, and I don't want to irritate the live trading room because this is what they're looking at over here. So basically, this is the TSI indicator, and what this signifies is that when the bar is blue, it's showing the 15-minute and the 60-minute are in both unison buy mode. This green is the last conditional change support on a 60-minute. The fuchsia is the last conditional change support on the 15-minute. So it's showing you a higher time frame support against a lower time frame support. The compression stop would be the difference or the less than of those two functions plus an ATR. It's quite sophisticated, so as a trend moves up, your stop stays out of harm's way, but over time, when time goes by, it tightens that stop because you've been in the trade probably too long. So that's the Algo 17 has a lot of phenomenal, not just fail safes on exits once you're in the trade, but also maintaining the style of what's more profitable, holding a position entirely, scaling out of a position, and those are the main features that this product has. Right now we have a short position in VXX 60 minutes. We're still long SPY. We have a long SPXL. It's been in this long position for quite some time now. I've been sharing these YouTube videos. These are daily bars, so it's still long and never closed below its fuchsia color last conditional change. Yesterday was the dip. That was all the dip we could get. Man, that's pretty positive in my books. Volume is picking up, and if we get better, more appreciative volume throughout today, that means this market has the ability to not just test the highs, but I believe we're going to see a new high in the market. Now, this is SPXL. It's a 3-time leveraged ETF on the S&P 500. So let's go over here and check a look, check out this look-see. What did we do? In our advisory service, you may have seen in the YouTube videos, I said we were in the ratio back spread, a 152, 154 October ratio back spread. Bullish call ratio back spread. Sell one per strategy. We sold 152 call. We bought twice as many of the 154 calls. We have just taken a profit on that trade 20 minutes ago. All right, so basically we are out of that trade because it hit our profit target. Now, was that the right thing to do? It's an option trade that had time element. We can't spend too much time in that trade because as theta is one of the components of a ratio back spread. I don't want to get into an options trading lesson right now, but seeing as I started trading options in 1984, I'm very qualified, one of the top educators out there as far as options strategies and what you need to know about options. And so with that said, I would say at this point, I will be on the close looking for a newer strategy to get into with better risk reward parameters. One thing that I could tell you is exceedingly healthy is that at this point in time, volume trends is greater. Breadth breakout is amazing. And my volume indicator right here really helped lead the charge, and so did the PPS indicator. Now, yesterday I gave quite an extensive YouTube outlook on Thinkorswim, how to use it with my program products, which are the PMC for stocks, and you can use that as a relative strength with the Russell versus S&P. Right? We looked at the volume. We also looked at PPS and persons pivots. And here, as you can see, we had a PPS buy signal, and now we've got a breakout. So that was with improved volume, improved advanced decline. This was a go. That was a long. We made money. All right, great. Now let's move over and say, where and why am I bullish, and where do I think the market's going to go? When every single stock index is breaking out of advanced decline highs to newer highs, and we now see follow-through upside volume, it would be very hard to imagine the stock market not going up to not just test the highs, but take out and make newer highs. That's my my 2 cents of the market. And I just wanted to give you that and follow up with you on that, because quite frankly, it's working and it's doing well. Now, let's move forward and talk about our live trading room. So today, and just to share with you, for those that missed the live trading room, every morning I come in and we do a follow-up or a morning briefing, so to speak. Okay, so basically, this is yesterday's comment. You can see right there, huge move today for IWM. The ratio back spreads are profitable, and I expect more upside. And we did take profits in a long TBT. May have gotten out of that a little bit early, but what the heck. And as I said, don't hold on much longer. For those who like to wait me out, as I tend to be early in and early out. I mean, it's just a fact of my life. I mean, I look at indicators, and when they say get in, I get in. And sometimes, it dips a little bit. Sometimes my indicator says get out, I get out. And then they go up a little bit, one more pump, and then they just dump. But anyway, today's analysis was what was going to take over. What should we see as a new opportunity? Where's value in the market that should come in if we are to get a launch and a liftoff? A, biotech drug stock. So you got CELG and UTHR were on our list, and that's what we talked about. fourth expiration, 40 delta-ish, so 38 to 42 in that range. LABU, we looked at buying it at 38.89 using 36.41 stop. We also then posted LUV. As you look at the time, 10 and then 10:02, we moved on to a new stock, LUV, 55 strike Nova expiration calls. Next, we had Tesla. Looks posed to run back to 275, scaling half of a position, looking at the October monthly expiration 28.33 delta areas. Why half? Well, if you're going to put $1,000 to work in an option, or $5,000, only go in $2,500, or only go in half that equity and put as many options as you can as half that equity. Because I'm waiting till Friday on the close. Tesla may generate a weekly high close and PPS buy signal, which would be very powerful, and that way then I would add to the trade. Right now, I can get in the trade a little early with defined risk and use the momentum of the strength of the overall stock market going up to help me get into that trade. So I hope that made sense. Next, you'll see here, it's kind of ironic here at 10:20. Algo room, crude oil settings, maintenance performed. Please remember this, and it's for educational purposes. And so people can come into the live trading room, click up here on this tab, and review that video. So everything I say in this room, in our live trading room, is recorded. So I wanted everyone that if you weren't in the room today, you can come in after the market closes and review that video and then get the new settings, which really didn't change in our crude oil model. And the reason they didn't change is because there was nothing to change. So maintenance sometimes will reveal, when you go through the steps of maintaining your strategy or your system, sometimes you don't need to change anything. And so that way there is no curve fitting involved, like you're adjusting your strategy for one trade. You're maintaining to adjust for profit target, risk reward ratios, and trailing stop model. So maybe the market's, with almost $1.90 10-day ATR. For you advanced traders, you know what I just said. For beginner traders who do not know what I said, if today's range, yesterday's range, the day before, 10 days, you average out, add up all those days, and then average out what it is. In this case, 10 periods. Your 10-day ATR is $1.90. $1.90, when you make almost 100% of your 10-day ATR in one day, in 30 minutes, you better take some profits off the table. It's quite unusual. And by the way, if your 10-day ATR is $1.80 or $1.89 and your daily range is $1.90, you're within the norm of your 10-day ATR, so you don't need to change your system. Your system should work. And that's why our system today, if you'll notice here, it just absolutely worked amazingly well. So how well it worked, just like it did. This is an amazing market. Yesterday we had, and again, just to prove a point, not all trades are winner. Here's a loser trade, small. Here's a winning trade. It gets out at half at the profit target, trails a stop, and it gets out on a compression. That was yesterday. This today, by the way, we're at another new, and I don't know how many times I've done these YouTube videos sharing with you crude oil, but we have another new, brand new equity high, and this is what we've been running in the room, a new equity curve high for the crude oil. And so I've been promoting for years that day traders should be looking at crude oil, because a lot of people are looking at E-mini S&Ps and they think that's the biggest, baddest boy in the block. And quite frankly, sometimes it's not, And anyway, we get a lot of really great signals out of crude oil. So I just thought I'd promote that. I'm not saying that the S&P model's not wholesome. It's incredibly wholesome. And yesterday we went through that as well. So anyway, here's a guy. Glad I finally listened and switched over to crude oil, because boy, he's and then at 11:46 he goes, I'm out. So he took his profits and ran. So carry on, Wayward Son. So we had some really fun times today in the live trading room, and and at this point in time, I'd have to tell you guys, we're still on the bullish side of the market, and I think that if by, let's say it's 12:45 now, by the time I compress this video and update it, I mean, things will change, I'm sure, in the market. But by today, this afternoon, I'd say by 2:30, if here's what I would have you guys focus on. If, by the way, let's go over here. And let's take a look at our radar screen on TradeStation right now. I'm going to use it for this practical purposes. So let's go with symbols. We're going to collate symbols. What I want to look for is I want to look for sectors. Three things. I want the PMC reading to be positive. What's positive? Improving is fuchsia. Positive, bright blue. Same layout that I taught in yesterday's video for Thinkorswim. Now, what I'm looking at is this. I want to see positive relative strength. I want to see weekly buy signals flashing. And more importantly, I want to see the current day's volume at or near the 10-day volume. All right. So in this case, I've just looked at GDX and its sub reading of its 10-day volume. So what is excessive or what's near? Russell, IWM, 16.8 with about 4 hours left of trading, 20 million, and so we could exceed the 10-day volume. So Russell is showing that it is seeing upside with stronger volume, and that's extremely positive. What else on the board here would you say is extremely positive? Well, OIH, key reversal there. It went up and it came back down, and it's exceeded its volume. So that's not a good sign for OIH, but it's still maintaining some somewhat positive structure. It hasn't really given back a whole lot. It's down 2 cents. That's unchanged. I think that's pretty expressly positive in light of crude oil's decline today on the heels of the Iran sanction announced by President Trump. All right, so the Qs is again on lighter volume, so we'll see how that plays out. Spider, again, 29.56, lighter volume than I would like. However, we're catching up with materials. We are playing a little catch up with some of the financials, 28 versus 52. So we got a lot going on in the afternoon. And then finally, this one right here, consumer staples, utilities, they're up a little bit. I don't want to see those up. I want to see those down. What I want to see up, I want to see transports up. I want to see IYT. So for that, let me just double check here with you guys. And let's go alphabetically. IYT has 140. It's not a great volume ETF, but I want to see it up. And then the other one that we were talking about, as you saw in the trade room, was Jets, airline sector. So let's go down and look at two spots of interest that you should be focused in. Yeah, I understand everyone likes semis and the excitement there. But you know what? Nobody, and I don't want to be the boy who cried wolf, but healthcare, we have a small position here because we didn't go all in when I say a normal position on Pfizer, PFE. But I would be looking to add, and that's what we talked about today with CELG. And it's got that beautiful blue relative strength, and it's got that nice little high close doji daily, right? So CELG, if I go over here, and it's in a weekly uptrend. Nice. So in its bullish pivot status. So CELG, by the way, that's why we used the filtering mechanisms on my indicators that would alerted me through the radar screen. Very powerful. This is a lifetime person's package here. Very powerful how we did that. And if we see follow through and final liftoff coming, that'll be tremendous because we haven't seen the bios or the drug sector participate in this rally. As a disclosure, we have a Democrat convention. I don't know what you want to call it. You got Bernie and Elizabeth Warren and Biden in the Democratic debate. Now, Bernie's platform is free Medicare, free medical, free everything, but we're going to have to raise taxes to pay for it. So, Bernie, idiot, it's not free. I mean, you're selling a lie. I mean, tell the truth, pal. We're going to have available health care, but we're going to do it at the expense of raising taxes and taxing people to help pay for it as one big pool. Why don't you sell it like that, pal? You know, because that's what it is. So, all right. I hope I didn't irritate anyone, but that's the truth. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, but that's his stance. What does that do for us as traders? It puts a lot of pressure on drug stocks and biotechs to make a profit. So that's kind of the mentality. So I would have to say there's only so far we can get with that. But here, look at the transports. Southwest Airlines is starting to really come into play. We had a PPS buy signal. We had a power play, high close doji weekly signal here. And I'm sorry to go over, and I'm going to finish this up right now. But there it is. And we've got what? Follow through, positive relative strength improvement. Volume hasn't kicked into high gear. So if by Friday you want a small position now, half in, and by Friday, if it does close and generate an upside move, baby, I think 60-62 is where we're heading back on LUV. That's it, gang. Thank you for watching, and I hope you've at least been the guidance that I've been giving in the videos, showing you what side of the stance we're on, what have our indicators been saying to do, and what is the algo doing, and what is it doing right now. I think it would be important to share that with you so that you can see that follow through yourself. VIX short, SPY long, SPXL daily long, and they're all green, and that's good stuff. Thanks for watching. Have a great time. And if you want more information, by the way, we're doing that webinar on Thursday. I don't do these nighttime gigs anymore. I'm too old for that, and I'm doing too many things. Between J-Person Asset Management, between the room, software, and trying to finish this deadline on the second edition of Candlesticks and Pivot Point Trading Triggers, I don't do nighttime webinars. The good news is they're recorded and you can learn from it. So if you want to really learn real information on trading, show up to the webinar. All you have to do is go to personsplanet.com, hit contact info tab, and say, hey, send me more information on this. Thanks for watching. And again, if you like what you see here on the YouTube videos, thumbs up, give a subscription. If you don't like what you see, then tell me. You know, I think it's important that we don't lose civility and we be courteous to others versus having the internet, which allows people to voice their opinion in a, I don't know, more abusive manner. And so with that stated, it does nobody any good by saying screw you or thumbs down without a reason of what don't you like. And to say, oh, because the clarity is not HD, remember, this is not a premium paid channel. This is free. And I'm just trying to share with you guys what the indicators are doing, and there are positive results before and after. I like to share the good news as well as the bad news. What works, what doesn't, and if it doesn't work, what can we do to fix it? And that's why I'm doing these videos with you guys. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.